Today, I wanted to talk about the benefits of both renting and buying a home and when to possibly buy a home. So first, I'll start to talk about some of the benefits of renting a house. A huge benefit is that it's lower stress. If you aren't able to pay your rent, which hopefully that doesn't happen, but it's not going to hurt your credit the same way that it does when you don't pay your mortgage. So that's a plus. Get kicked out. You also don't need to end up selling the house when you leave. You kind of can just walk away and move on, and you're not dealing with as big of a burden financially with that. Another benefit is that you aren't dealing with, every time you rent, you're not dealing with closing costs and these like huge fees. You can be able to actually save money up for when you do want to buy a house, and you can take that time to be paying off debt and other things instead of worrying about a mortgage. And a huge benefit for renting is that you're not in charge of maintenance. So here he is sweating because he can't afford to fix his AC. But when you're renting, you don't have to deal with that, which is really nice. Some benefits to buying is the biggest one, I feel like, is that you increase your equity. When you buy, it actually in 48 states, it's less to buy than to rent a house. And to put money towards other things because of the money you're saving on buying versus renting. I mean, you do have to have those down payments saved up that you've saved up while you've been renting, but it's definitely worth it. And your money's going towards owning the house and not just handing money to someone else to pay towards their mortgage. So it's going towards something that will be yours. You also get to put down roots. When you buy a home, you're kind of saying, I'm going to be here for a while, and you just start to get to know people around you and just feel like a bigger part of the community, I think, than when you're bouncing around. You also get more of a say in what your house looks like, the cosmetics of it, the paints and things like that, and you don't get that with renting at all. Sometimes when you go to sell your home, if you sell at the right point, you can make money, or you can even rent out a home that you've bought, and then it's money in your pocket, or someone else, like you said, is paying your mortgage for you, which is super nice. Also, a big advantage is tax deductions. You get hit pretty hard with taxes when you're renting versus buying. So when do you buy a house? It's kind of a hard question, and it's different for everybody. I think it's something that you can't just all of a sudden go, okay, we're ready. It's something you need to plan for. And so like we were talking about before, you need to save up for things, and save about 2 to 5% of what the house will cost that you're kind of wanting around that price range, because that tends to be the typical closing costs. And so as you're renting and you're trying to save up to have the money for closing costs, you should be aiming for this amount. I would just go ahead and go for 5% because you don't know, and you don't want to not have enough. And so that is another huge factor is because of all those fees and closing costs. Need to make sure you're going to be in that area for about 5 years, because it takes about 5 years for you to be on top with the money that you've put in for it to be more of a benefit. There are exceptions. If you need to look into your area, if it's easy to rent things out, then maybe even if you're going to be there just a few years, you think, well, I'll just rent it out, whatever. If it's easy to sell and it's not a hard deal or whatever. But that definitely is a huge factor of going into that. So there are a lot of benefits to both renting and buying, and it's just different for everyone. And those are different things that you can be able to know.